I wanted to ask, well, there's a few different questions here that are on my mind, but just off the bat, like you've experimented with so many different types of healing. What
Mm.
do you feel is like the most potent form of healing that has at least worked for you, in terms of like, going through resolving traumas and facilitating healing and this kind of thing?
Mm-hmm. Yes. So the way I see it so far, I tried like 100 therapies, energy-based modalities. It's a very interesting question because I still do use some methods. I have more powerful methods than those, but I still use the ones that I used, for example, a year ago, because I see like very specific problems, they can be healed much faster by that method, even though another method is much more powerful in terms of clearing the intensity of the issue. The other one can be less intense, but it's more rapid. So what I use is different combinations for the same kind of problem. So I would answer your question in brief and then I will detail because my mind just thinks like this, like a tree. The most potent, yes. Okay. Blockages so far, I realized they are on different layers. So you have the mental blockages in terms of thoughts and limiting beliefs. Like if somebody wants to start to make more money than they're making right now or start a business, they get this thought that comes up over and over. Okay, I'm not good enough to do this, or I'm scared to do this. That's a fear in form of thought. But the fear can come in the second layer of the blockage, which is emotional. It's it can come mental, first order mental, and also emotional. It can come as a thought that comes up in the head once you think about starting that thing, and as an emotion in the body, as the energy being summoned in the body and blocking you as a fear. Some blockages, they are not mental, but just emotional. You have no thoughts inside the head, but you feel it inside the body. You feel this energy that is stopping you. Other blockages are body-based, and they can include the thoughts and the emotions. It could be a tension that comes up in the body. You feel really like actually paralyzed when you think about your endeavor. And the last layer is spiritual. And these days I work on that one. I work on the body one, subcellular blockages. If you work on the subcellular level, I think that's the most potent. And the next one would be the spiritual one, to answer your question. So body-based techniques, body-based psychotherapies. Just I have friends who've been doing yoga for years and I haven't tried any psychotherapies, and so many of their blockages, they were gone completely. Yoga takes a little bit more time to actually start the healing, and you have to choose the correct and the right type of yoga. Some types of yoga are very dangerous to do. Actually, you have to have a legit guru. So body-based psychotherapy is extremely powerful for any kind of blockage. There's this therapy is based on energy, like energy. It touches on the energetic level and also the body-based level. It's the Reichian psychotherapy. I think it's William Reich. That's the name of the guy. What else? No thoughts. Okay, go ahead.
No, that was a very thorough answer. And like, okay, so you're talking a lot about healing and blockages and the different layers at which the blockages can manifest in. What causes blockages? Based in, I mean, again, like, because I think this is something that a lot in the New Age world, spiritual world, these are things that like it comes up a lot, but often it's also very nebulous in that, you know, it's subject to everybody's sort of perspective and opinion and thoughts and ideas about what that could be or look like or how it could manifest. So just, you know, as a psychological major, but also a spiritual psychology major that you are, you know, what are blockages? Where do they come from?
Very good question. Different types of blockages, as I said, they reside on. Oh, it's an amazing question, man. I like these questions you're asking me because, you know, I already have answers, but also the moment brings up so many realizations as well. And yeah, I think you resonate with this too. So, what comes to mind in the moment is that blockages are illusions. Fears, tensions in the body are illusions on the spiritual level. I do believe that we are still, I mean, there's the argument that you are not, you don't exist, and there's this matrix. We're living in this matrix of the physical, and it doesn't exist. And the truth is the spiritual, because beyond these buildings and this laptop that you're talking through to me, and beyond everything that is, everybody that is watching us here, the room that you're sitting in, actually, if you zoom in, if you keep zooming in on every single particle, there's absolutely nothing at some point. There might be atoms, but beyond that, maybe some energy, and beyond that, what is there? There's absolutely nothing. That's the this is one way to access a certain state of consciousness, actually. And you can build up on this feeling, and then you feel that there's nothing, basically, and there's this stillness behind everything. There's this absolute stillness that is very silent that you can tune into and relax there. Now, I do believe that this is the source of it, a source of it all. This source has other divine qualities like unconditional love, presence, bliss that you can also tap into. Enlightenment is the highest level. And after that, I don't believe, I don't see, I'll believe, but I don't see that blockages are emanating from this source, because I do believe that this source is pure and unconditionally loving and very strong. It has so many strong, it encompasses so many divine qualities like strength, honesty, humility, unconditional love, unconditional acceptance. So this is the source of us, of it all. And blockages, I haven't really thought about when did they start exactly, but so far I know where to find them, where, how, I know that they are there at this place and I know how to clear them. But I don't know this source. I know this pure source, but there might be another, some kind of, I wouldn't say evil source, but something that started at some point in the past, in the eons and eons ago, that started this separation between us, between ourselves and others, and egos, negative egos. Now, I haven't given much thought to that, but let's make it simple here to answer the question where the blockages are, where they originate from. I haven't given much thought to that, but subcellular body-based blockages, there's some kind of parasites in the cells. You don't experience, you don't feel this in your daily life. You don't feel it. There might be some parasites, or there might be some kind of damage inside the cells, and that on a subcellular level, you don't feel any tension or anything, but that's what's generating your low self-esteem, for example, or that is what's generating your fear of public speaking or whatever. And it is ancestral, it is archetypal, as I said. The source, I haven't given the initial source of it all blockages. I didn't think about that yet, but it is kind of a heritage. it's a heritage of blockages. They come from your ancestors. They come from, didn't think about past lives yet, but yeah, there are some blockages that are past life based also. So it's all coming from the past and from the subcellular parasites in the cells, or these damage. There might be a parasite or a damage inside the cell, and it's a disturbance. It creates a disturbance between the communication of between this with this damaged cell and another healthy cell, and this lack of communication creates the blockage, generates the blockage, and these parasites or this damage can be created in the womb as well. You inherit it from ancestors. This ancestor, it has this kind of parasite inside the cell, and then they bring their offsprings. They get married, and then they bring the same thing over and over again. It's the case with, for example, narcissistic or borderline personality disorder or bipolar. Like, it's a heritage of some kind of cells that are damaged, and they inherit the same thing. Like the children, they inherit the same thing. Now, that's one source of the blockages. It's a heritage of parasites and damaged cells. The second one, there might be no heritage. We all inherit some good and bad traits from our parents, including these blockages, and they inherit from their parents as well. But there's new ones as well that can be created in the womb, separate from the traumas that can be inherited. And for example, you are in the womb, you're gonna get born soon, and you're still inside your mother's womb, okay? But the cells can be damaged by the negative emotions that the mother experiences while you are in the womb. And that will create disturbances because you are still developing your body inside the womb. And any kind of disturbance, even like your mother, like they surprise her with her birthday or something, and you're still inside the womb, and she gets some kind of shock, very small shock, and that could signal, it creates a signal of like a negative emotion, and it can interfere with the cells that are developing, still developing, and that damage there, when you grow up, it will translate into some kind of low self-esteem problem. So I hope I answered your question.